Oh, you know what? I bet it's on the map, isn't it? Hold on. This is the Elden Ring interactive map. We're going to hide all, and then we're going to look for... Oh, is it Spirit? It's not Spirit Ashes, right? No, it's not. Oh, I can just search at the top. Oh, okay. Okay. Huh. The exact name of these things that we're going to be looking for is... Starlight Shards. What is Starlight? Ah! Perfect. Okay. Cool. I think we got that one. In fact, I know we got that one. So... we'll just kind of go down the list here. How do we get to there? Really need a few more, so we can just rip this out real quick. It's like right there? Take a look. Do you think the new generation of gamers like challenging games? I think a lot do. I think a lot of them like cozy games too, though. But I wouldn't say there's any major yes or no on that. Oh, looks like we got this one. That was probably it right there. Okay. Cool. We're just going to move right to left until we get all the ones we need, which will be pretty quick. All right, next we got one right down here. Right behind us here to the north. I am, again, 90% sure we got this one too, but we'll just double check. What is my prediction for Xbox today? Dude, I have no idea. Like, they have so many studios at this point under their umbrella that, like, The thing about today is it's not going to tell us necessarily what is coming from Xbox because we already have a massive laundry list of that. What it's going to tell us is what's coming next from Xbox. And that's honestly what I'm most looking forward to. Not necessarily what, but in what order. And I think that's going to be very telling. So we'll hopefully see some information about that today, which I think would be great. Let's check these two spots real quick. We've got one right up here, which I'm pretty sure we got, but we'll see. What time is Xbox? In 3 hours and 34 minutes. Yeah, I want to know about Avowed. I really, dude, and I've said this many times before, and I'll say it again. I really hope today is the day that Avowed wows people. We have seen stuff from Avowed so far. To me, it looks fine, but the general consensus is that it looks bland and relatively boring. So I'm really hoping today they can really focus on showing what makes it an Obsidian RPG and like not on the stuff that just every other game is doing. Like I feel like they're not doing a good job really going over what's going to make that game special. And in all the stuff they've shown so far, it just looks kind of generic. Like there's no, I don't know. Now the thing is, I know it's going to be awesome because I have faith in Obsidian, and I know the writing's going to be good, the character's going to be good, the story's probably going to be good. Like, for me, it's no problem. But man, I'm not worried about me. I'm worried about the general gaming population, and they do not feel the same way I do at all, unfortunately. So yeah, hopefully today will be the day. We'll see. Zippa says, I hope the world is more interesting than Outer Worlds. See, I'm one of the people that liked Outer Worlds. I actually had a good time in Outer Worlds. I mean, yeah, it was definitely a safe game, but I'm fine with safe games every so often. Outer World was Obsidian's first in-house game of that kind. So with that in mind, I think not only was it really good, but like technically it worked pretty well, and I had a good time in it. And for a first time, Like, I thought it was great. It got me excited for what's coming next, like Avowed. But, you know, that's that's the problem. We're not everyone feels the same way, unfortunately. But yeah. That's my big hope. That's my really big hope today. That my biggest hope from a non-like game announcement standpoint is that Avowed gets to show what makes it special today. I hope we see that. I really do. Let's go up this way. Yes, perfect. Is this 5? Hell yeah, let's go buy Dung Eater. Never thought I'd say those words in that order, ever, in my life. Okay. That awkward moment when your phone is vibrating and you can hear it, but you don't know where it is. If you walk over the waypoint laser, it disappears so you don't have to bring it up on the map. Yeah, I know. It's great. You know what we should do? We should get together an Elden Rings tips video, like the top tips. Yeah. Let's see. Okay. 40. Let's get on the list real quick. Let's do this real fast while I'm thinking about it. I was just thinking about this. We should probably do like, because we get so many of these all the time. We could just make a quick video on like some of the best tips that people don't know. I think that'd be cool. I think we should do that. Let's do that. So to the guys that are making the video, we'll go ahead. I'm just gonna like do a bunch of tips and stuff you can use, and you guys can use that and footage from this playthrough and other times, and we'll just, you know, put together a tip video. So let's do it. So, hi everybody, CohhCarnage here with a quick tips video on Elden Ring, and these are some of the best tips that you might know, but you may not know. These are tips that are not generally ones that you're gonna find in like the My First guides on all the different sites. These are gonna be tips that maybe you've played Elden Ring a little bit and are just cool things to know. So without further delay, let's get right to it. So for this tip, it's a quick way to get back to the Roundtable hold. And it's actually a way where when you start doing it early, it'll save you a lot of time, particularly if you're the kind of person.
The damn fish.
You know, I'm glad you guys did that because I wanted to redo that anyway. So get it out of your system. We've got the lay and the loot one. Get it all out of your system, chat.
Begging for another lesson so soon? There remains much to be done. Make it quick.
Applause, please.
1 second. Okay. Potato puppet, dung eater, boom. Beautiful.
You're proving to be.
Okay. Wait, was that more? Hold on. Was that more dialogue?
Begging for another lesson. There remains much to be done. Make it.
Okay. So for the next part of his quest, we need to just to double check here. Then we'll do the tips real quick. Buy all sorceries and 2 puppets. Learn his plot. So we need to do all this. We've bought 2 puppets, and now we need to buy all the sorceries. So we need to basically just go around and get souls. I guess we need to farm some souls. Because I don't want to progress anything right now, but I need souls.
You're proving to be. I've not had an apprentice for a very long time indeed. Begging for another lesson.
Oh, it sounded like he was saying something. Oh, hold up. Hold up.
Perhaps you'll be interested in a little scheme of mine. It will produce the finest of puppets, which I aspire to cherish with these very hands. A ploy to fool even Lady Rani.
Oh yeah, no.
Sound?
I am interested.
I knew I had you pegged. You're just like me.
We're gonna do the tips in just a sec, guys. I just want
to procure something.
I've never done this.
A rather unique starlight shard that glistens with amber.
Okay.
With that, my special draft will gleam with an sweetness, and even a demigod would be slave to its charms.
Give Amber starlight.
Well, well. You managed to lay your hands on it. The blessed day is finally upon us. Goodness gracious, the way it glistens. Utterly enchanting. To think this was once a demigod's very fate. My, oh my, oh my. Ah. Are you still here?
Yes?
Oh, yes, I should give you your reward. Yeah, please. It's all yours. It's splendid work. It's just marvelous. Now just you wait. The merriment is soon to begin. The scheme I promised is to be revealed very shortly.
Warning: giving Ronnie the amber draft will cause her to immediately wake up. She'll denounce you and cast you out of her tower, wanting nothing more to do with you and ending her questline prematurely. Trying to mitigate this by attacking Seluvis will also cause her to become hostile. If you wish to complete Ronnie's questline, which will result in a unique ending to the game, we recommend not giving Ronnie the amber draught. Seluvis' quest will end the same way regardless. Yep. The plan was never to give the draught. Never to do that. I was never going to give Ronnie anything from her. So regardless, that was never the plan. So we're good. Yep. There's an NPC you can drop into carry a manor from here. Not really important, but he adds a bit of lore. Really? What do you mean? All right, anyway. So the YouTube guys don't have to go too much further. Let's go ahead and we'll start doing some of the tip video stuff right now. So what we're going to do is we don't need to do the tips in order or anything. The YouTube guys are going to chop it all up. So we'll just kind of go down all of them and go from there. So a quick list. So first we're going to do Roundtable. First one is going to be Roundtable Warp. Second is going to be Hold Up for healing. Third is going to be Margit Moog Shackle. Fourth is going to be horse not moving while mounting when still. Tip 5 is for new players primarily, and actually this will probably be the new tip. This will be the first tip since we're going to get out at the beginning. For new players, prioritize vigor. I think that's a great, just a good new player tip. Red, yeah. Oh, just put all this on YouTube. Yeah. We're doing stuff for the other highlight video. You're good. That was a bad ping, Red. You're totally good. Oh, super jump. We'll go over the super jump. That's a great one. Oh, teleporting out if you want to. Teleport items from Moog if people want to teleport out and not die. Oh, shining stones. Shining stone drop stuff. Oh, and we'll talk about the roll distance too. Yep. Okay, that's a good call. Saw somebody say roll distance. Yellowed enemy eyes give 5 times rune. Yellow eyes 5x rune. What are other things we didn't know? Appraising messages heals the person. Heals the person. Oh, red has a great one. Oh, offhand buff items. And then Frost Stomp finds invisible paths. Man, this tip video is going to rock. This is going to be the kind of tips video that I wish I watched before I I started doing this. Okay. Lantern. We'll do the lantern. That's kind of a new player tip. We'll put that. We'll do the lantern and the prioritize vigor at the beginning for new players. Swinging both ways on the horse, I feel is new. Yeah, I'm trying to do more. Sometimes we do things on the stream where even people that have played Elden Ring for 200 hours go, oh my God, I didn't know that. That's the kind of tips I want in this video. I don't necessarily want Brass Shield is the best starting shield. Vigor is the best stat. We're looking for I already have played Elden Ring. I just watched that video and learned a bunch of new stuff. That's the kind of video I want to make here. Oh, R3 to, okay. R3 to use runes from inventory, and then mention you can sell to vendors. Mention sell rune to vendors. Sell runes to vendors. There we go. That's a great tip. A lot of people don't know that. We already did rainbow shards. We already did gently. The walking churches sleep at night. Really? I didn't know that. Really? Is that true? Late night. They do. That's fun. Yeah, and Dedrin, actually, you know what? Dedrin says, if the first 2 tips are basic, are you sure immediately players won't stay for the rest of the video? Actually, I'm not going to put the new player tips in there. I just decided. Yeah, when I said that about the video, I'm not going to do that. Yeah, I'm not gonna put that thing about the housing in, because there's enough people in chat that have said they didn't know that and haven't confirmed it, that's a little concerning. I'm not gonna do that yet. Oh, check 15. Check regions for bosses at night. You know what? No, that's basic. No, we don't need to do that. Oh, we already got hold up to go directly to healing, or first item. We should mention first item, not healing. First item. We included the boost jump. We talked about the horse stuff. We did the quick round table port button combo. I will mention the up thing works for spells and items. Rune arcs and great runes, that's like core functionality. I don't think we need to talk about rune arcs and great runes. 80k rune dragon? Nah, I think at this point, nah, that's well known. That's super well known. Nah. We're going to talk about the lantern. That's kind of, the lantern's a new player tip. We'll just mention that in the video. That's not going to be a main tip, but I will mention that one. Yeah. You can use Bo's telescopes and their zoom to align Torrent to turn him in one spot without moving. Oh, hold up. So if I turn away around like this, it physically moves my character, as you can see. Like, my character bounces all over the place if I do this. But if I do this... Oh, look at that. There's absolutely no movement going on now. None. It just removes the animation that moves the character. Super good tip. I like that a lot. Okay. 14. Telescope bow on horse to turn without moving your character. That's cool. Wait, can we... Wait. Oh, nah. I was going to say, if it skipped the animation to move the character getting off the horse, that would have been amazing. Okay, but no. Sorting inventory with thumbsticks. Again, that kind of stuff, I mean, it's on the screen right there at the bottom. I don't really think we need to give tips for stuff that's like right there. That's fine. So this is like 14 tips right now. I feel like that's, or actually it's gonna be like 13 tips. Yeah. Okay. So, we're going to go ahead and start these. Is between there and now. Tips start at 1.3. Okay. Let's go. All right. I'm not going to number the tips, and that way the YouTube guys can just put them wherever they want. A great tip that you can do to get to the round table hold quickly is actually a button combination. So not a lot of people know. Now, most of the time when you walk around or warp around the map, you zoom out to move quicker and then zoom in to go wherever you'd like to go. One thing that not a lot of people know is the Y button goes to Sites of Grace. And then if you go to the far left, it actually goes to the only selection of round table hold. Now, what that means is there's a very easy, quick button combination that no matter where you are on the map will quickly take you to round table hold. So what that means is back, Y, X, A. And you can do that from wherever. You never need to move anything. and you just go right there. So anytime you're out in the wild and you're just like, oh, I need to go to Roundtable Hold, YXA. Bam, done. And if you're on mouse and keyboard, you can just look for those buttons on yours too. GFRE on PC. Awesome. All right, so let me do that. Sometimes in the heat of, okay, we'll do tip number 2. Sometimes in the heat of battle, you may be using a lot of items or a lot of spells, and you just got that big hit on you and you need to get to that big healing spell or that big pot quickly. The best way to do that is for your spells, you can hold the up button on the D-pad. That will automatically take your spell to the first spell in your list. Now, if you make that a healing spell, that means that if you hold up, you will always go directly to your healing spell or damage or whatever you put there. Now, the same thing works for your items. So most of the time, your Estus Flask is in your first slot. If you hold down, it always goes to that slot. So no matter where you are in your long item menu, if you hold down, it will always go back to your healing. And that way you can get that pot off when you need it in the boss fight. Cool. It's not an Estus Flask? Yes, it is. They're called souls and they're called bonfires. Get over it. Okay. Number 3. And for this one, you guys want to look through my footage. If you look for me in a dungeon somewhere, I use this shackle all the time to lower the stuff in dungeons. So if you find any footage there of that, that should be super easy. Let's just pick a pretty place to go do this. Oh, we'll do it right here. Okay. A great tip for ways to work with items in dungeons is the shackles. There are 2 different shackles that you can get in the game, one for Margit and one for Moog. They look like this right here. Now, these are items you can use whenever you want, and they're specifically designed for the boss fights against these 2 people. However, here's a little interesting fact about this. The way these items work is they do a large radius pulse of a 0 damage attack with an effect. Now, on these 2 enemies, that effect brings them down. On most enemies, it does nothing, it does 0 damage, so nothing happens. However, if you are in a dungeon or any area with secret walls or items that are usable if you, say, roll into them, like the giant flame columns that go up and down, when you use one of these shackles, like this, every single secret wall around you gets taken down, and any flame turrets get lowered into the ground. It's an incredibly cool trick. So every time you use either Margit or Moog's shackle, every hidden door in a radius around you gets exposed. Pretty cool trick, and a great way to make sure you're getting everywhere in the areas you're exploring. Cool. What's the radius? About 4 parsecs. What the hell, what's the radius? What am I going to tell you? 20 feet? Like what? Think, what am I going to tell? 7 miles? Like what? 14 meters? Like, okay. 69 burgers. That's right. The radius of that is 69 burgers long, which is about 1.9 nanoseconds for those playing along at home, or 1.2 grams of herb. Okay, let's go ahead and go to the next tip, which is going to be, okay, horse not moving while mounting when still. All right, here we go. About tree fitting. There's going to be a lot of time. I'm not sure how I should start these tips. I guess, okay, so the YouTube guys will probably with text be like tip 1, tip 2, tip 3, and then it will just go into me talking. Okay, so we'll call this one the horse not moving while mounting. Okay. There's going to be a lot of times in this game where you're doing platform jumping, or you're trying to utilize gravity to not die by it. Those platforming sessions a lot of times happen outside, in which case you may want to use your horse, as the jump is a lot longer and can also double jump. Lots of good reasons to use it. However, using the horse in close quarters is exceptionally difficult, and the next 2 tips are going to cover some ways that you can make that a little bit easier. First of all, as many of you know, if you're moving in any direction and you fire up your horse, he is going to fire in that direction. Now, if you're on a ledge, you're just going to fire right off it. So the first tip is always make sure you are completely still before you tap the left tab to get off. You are going to get off on a side. It's not always the same side. So if you're on a ledge, make sure you position yourself so no matter what side you get off, you're not going to fall off the ledge. But keep in mind also getting on is the same way. If you're moving and you get on your horse, then you're going to kind of fire forward. But if you are still when you get on your horse, it is not going to fire forward. And that is, again, when you're platforming, incredibly important. Okay. Next tip is going to be the bow / other thing. Another great tip.
Hydration is required.
Thanks, Wayne. Another great tip for riding on the horse is whenever you move on the horse in any direction, just like a real horse, he doesn't just spin like a tank turret on top of a tank. He actually moves. So the problem with that is that with just the tiniest wrong input, your horse will take you right off a ledge, especially if you're trying to turn around or something. A very cool trick to get around this is to use a bow or a telescope, and while looking through that, rotate. Now, if you look down, watch the horse. There's no more animation. This means that you are moving in a circle and your character is planted on the ground. So if you are needing to turn in a very close area and you are, like me, most times very concerned about falling off, pop on a telescope or bow and then use that to position yourself. Once you're ready, just fire it off and you're good to go. Okay. Next up, the super jump. This is a tip that will save you many, many times if you learn to do it properly. Now, the way that jumping works in this game is with A. Look, that's a jump. If you are still and you jump, that is what it looks like. You can see. It's a pretty good jump. It goes the distance. Now, the problem is that there's a lot of times where you're going to be on a ledge that has about that much area to move on. And that means that if you wanted to jump from that ledge to somewhere else, that's about as far as you could go. That's your jump. But what's interesting is that if you're sprinting and you jump by holding B, clearly that's a lot further. If you sprint and jump, sprinting, jumping, that is a significantly longer jump. Let's go up here where it's flatter. So the thing that you can do, which is interesting, is that you can charge up a jump while standing still to be a sprinting jump with almost no movement. And let me show you what I mean. After these wolves. So right here, if we look at this line, I'm going to stand on that brick. If I jump forward, that's what we're looking at, right? So sometimes you can get like a tiny running start, but most of the time your jumps are going to look like that. If you have no area to run, that's what your jumps are going to look like. You just hit A and hold forward. That's what you're looking at. If you get a little bit of a running start, you're looking at that, which is a little better, but neither of those are a sprint jump. If you jump into the air and hold B, and then after you land on the ground, push forward to tell your character to start running and then immediately jump, you will do a sprint jump from a near standing position. See how much further that jump was than the others? And you see how I almost had to move no distance to do it? That is a sprint jump. And that will save you so many deaths when you learn to do that properly in areas that need just that little bit of extra distance to get through. So be sure to check that out. Again, jump, hold B, forward and jump. And here's the thing. You can't do forward and jump at the same time. When you jump up and hold B, you're telling your character the next time you move, sprint. So if I just hit forward and A right now, I'm not actually going to be sprinting, and it's not going to work. So what you need to do is you need to jump up, hold B, move forward. The second you see your right foot move, hit A. And then you'll get the jump. That's how it works. For the longest time, I was trying to do it A and forward at the same time. It's almost impossible to do it that way. You need to go forward just a fraction of a second, then hit A, and you're good to go. Good luck. Okay. That's the sprint jump. Next, teleport items. Sometimes when you play Dark Souls, you just don't want to die. Maybe you're doing a challenge run. Maybe you got a whole bunch of souls you don't want to leave in the boss room. There's all sorts of reasons. But maybe there's times when you just don't want to die. You want an easy out. Well, for those times, you can do this. That works in a boss fight. That works on ledges. That works anywhere. That is an item you get to get transferred to the Moog area from a quest guy called Vare early in the game. And when you get this item, which is this item right here, you can pop this item as a quick usable, which is this right here. If you hit your items, the pouch over here, I just put it on my left. And now anytime I want, during a boss fight, anything, all I have to do is hold Y, hit left, and then do that, and I'm out. I'm gone. I'm safe. So if you are planning on doing a run, like a permadeath run or a very low death run, an item like this is super, super helpful and something you may want to get early. Cool. All right. That was a pretty cool trick. I like that trick. All right. We only have a few more tips to go, and then we're going to go back in. Okay. I need for this trick. We can just do it here. That's fine. Okay. This is the Shining Stone trick. This is a very cool trick that will let you know exactly if you can do a drop without dying. There are items in the game called rainbow stones. Now, a lot of times people think that these stones are specifically used to mark where you are in dungeons. You can do that, but that's not the best use for them. What you can do with the rainbow stone is you can throw it like this over a ledge. If the stone is lit, then you can not only make the jump for sure, but if you roll from where you are, 9 times out of 10, you'll land pretty much right in front of that stone, depending on how far it went. So that is a really cool trick. Now, the big thing about this trick is if you throw that stone and it breaks when it hits the ground, that means that fall is too long for your character, and no matter what you do, you will die. So if you throw a rainbow stone and it drops all the way down and you can't easily see it light up when it hits the ground, if you try to do that drop, you will die. Soft cotton will not save you because soft cotton reduces the damage you take. But if a stone breaks, that means it is past the point of no return. So as far as I understand, outside of a little bit of tomfoolery with the weight of your armor and some stuff, if you see that stone break, 99% of the time you will die. Just a little tip for you. Good luck. Okay. This is a quick tip. A very little known tip, but it can be really helpful for soul farming or just something to keep on the lookout for while you're playing. If you ever notice an enemy with golden eyes, that enemy is worth 5x the runes. This is not a big deal, but it can be if you're running around the world and you happen to notice an enemy that's worth a lot of souls that has golden eyes. Maybe a good idea to take a few seconds to go kill it because, well, 5x souls can be really meaningful in the larger enemies. Cool. Okay,